and to an extent state of Chhattisgarh. This is where the onion crop comes from. Maharashtra government did take punitive action. The same action was lacking. I am only pointing out a fact that on post-poll, suddenly the prices come back to normal.
I completely deny this allegation. Come on, be graceful in your defeat, Mr. Surjewala. Be graceful in your defeat.
Mr. Surjewala, I think you're being too specific in an attempt to avoid the question. I have a very broad question. Price rise has made you vulnerable nationally. Isn't that the bigger point, that you are going to pay the price for the price rise at a national level 4 months from an election? Lord Meghnad Desai has been wanting to...
And a price rise is a matter of concern. Is a matter of concern, but you also have to grant it that price rise is not a matter only for UPA government to control. Price rise is a state and center issue.
Since September 2009, not just onions, lots and lots of items across the family's budget have been rising, and you have done nothing for 4 years, and it's no good now saying it's Madhya Pradesh conspiracy and Nasik conspiracy and all that. You should admit that you have deliberately neglected controlling inflation, and that's why the people are angry with you.
Well, Navika.
Mr. Surjewala, there's just one question. You said everything that has happened today, the defeats that have happened today, is because of anti-incumbency, both in Rajasthan and in Delhi. The BJP seem to have bucked that trend. The question is that if it is anti-incumbency which is making you lose state after state, will the same anti-incumbency weigh very heavily on you in the 2014 elections? After all, you've been in the UPA government for 10 years now.
Navika, anti-incumbency didn't beat us in 2009. We did come back to power in 2009 nationally. Anti-incumbency did not affect us in Haryana. We did return to power, although with a reduced majority. We just 11 months back, we won 4 states, the states of Karnataka.
So why is that an explanation in Delhi and Rajasthan? Why is that an explanation in Delhi and Rajasthan?
Out of all the 5 states, Navika, that have gone to poll, Mrs. Sheila Dikshit-led Congress government is the only government that went to poll the 4th time. Yes, there was a perceptible mood of voters for change. It could be for a variety of reasons, despite the stellar performance of Mrs. Dikshit's government in terms of changing the face of Delhi. 15 years back, you have been here. What Delhi looked like and what Delhi looks like today, the worst opponents of Mrs. Dikshit would not even say that nothing changed. Yes, there was a perceptible change.
Mr. Surjewala, you are batting. Mr. Surjewala, you are of the view that nothing but time has gone against you. The only factor that has gone against you is the passage of time. Now I'd like to believe that you've got some substance to that argument, but frankly, Mr. Surjewala, that's not the tone and tenor of your party Vice President Rahul Gandhi, who says that we have got a lot of things wrong, we have lost connect with the people. Do you want to think, Mr. Surjewala, why you've lost connect with the people? You build bridges and you build flyovers in Delhi, and you think that that will allow you to retain a connect with the people. Why have you lost a connect with the people?
It's too late to realize that.
It's perhaps too late to realize that, but I'm not seeing an admission of that coming in. So, we are going to take this debate forward. Should I move to the issue of communalism? No, I want to go into the issue of communalism. Should we move to the issue number?
But I have one issue, a question for Surjewala.
Okay.
Mr. Surjewala,
yeah.
I think one of the worst alibis that you can come out with today is that policies are right and communication is wrong. I mean, that is the theme of this whole thing. Now, you have such a sophisticated organization, you have such a network of communicators, and you have so many advisors. Surely it's impossible to believe that all these people were giving you wrong advice. Yeah. I mean, this whole, your message, your whole idea that justify the policy but attack the communication.
Derek wants to add to that, Mr. Surjewala. Derek.
See, Mr. Vinod Dua is giving them...
Vinod Mehta.
Mr. Vinod Mehta, I'm so sorry. Mr. Vinod Mehta is giving...
He's the guy who does the food.
Sorry. Mr. Mehta is giving them this advice today, December 2013. We were advising them through 2012. That's why we pulled out in September 2012.
No, elaborate.
Nothing on these issues. Why did Trinamool Congress walk out of this government? Number one reason, price rise. Number two reason, fertilizer prices. These were all listed reasons why we pulled out. And 6 months before we pulled out, I'm talking about February, March 2012, but no one was listening.
We had it was retail FDI that made
no, four reasons. First, price rise, fertilizer prices, FDI and retail. I'm giving you the 4 reasons why we pulled out.
But you accepted
No, so what is your point? That the Congress party...
No, the point is, the eminent journalist today is trying to tell the Congress party that, listen, it's not about marketing what you've done, it's actually the product itself. So it's not a marketing issue.
What, has the Congress party got too smug?
See, listen, I'm not here to comment on the Congress party. People have said what they...
commenting on the Congress party.
I've not said anything. I've said why Trinamool Congress pulled out in September 2012. One of the 4 issues with FDI was price rise and also fertilizer prices and prices of which were affecting the common man. LPG cap. That's the 4th reason why we pulled out.
Yes.
So, you know, this cocky, arrogant attitude from 2012, we found it impossible. And now today, I hate to say so, but we told you so.
Now, Mr. Surjewala?
Arnab, price rise has been a matter of concern. Congress party as also UPA government needs to look at it afresh. None less than the Congress president has already said that an introspection on the issue is required. I completely concur principally with the issue that price rise has affected for reasons not necessarily always within the control of the government.
Price index, the wholesale and retail price index, the vegetable price index has been going up for 4 years. For 4 years. And the question is this, and why don't you hear it from the BJP? Let's get Ravi Shankar Prasad, that on the issue, which is the point of conversation in the entire country, wherever you go, the biggest complaint the people have with the UPA2 government is a lack of sensitivity overall to the price situation. A general feeling that, and comments such as, well, the poverty index has gone down, you can have food today at 5 or 12 rupees a plate. The poor are, people are eating too much, and that's why, the demand has increased, which is why supply-demand economics, people are eating more, which is why food has become more expensive. Why don't you realize today that all this while there has been no sense of urgency? And I put that to Ravi Shankar Prasad. Has there been a sense of urgency from the central government? Have you pushed Sharad Pawar, for example, to making him accountable? Told him that instead of spending so much time managing cricket, he should show equal concern towards the food supply situation in the country? You haven't, Mr. Surjewala, and it's coming back to haunt you. But Ravi Shankar Prasad, what would you say?
Or now you may recall that a very eminent minister, a very loquacious minister recently said that the price of vegetable is going up because people have started eating 2 vegetables along with chapati. It's a very famous statement. They have been insensitive in the extreme. Now let me tell you, yes, Mr. Sharad Pawar is accountable, but what about the PM's accountability? In the last nearly 5 years, we have had about 6 to 7 debates on this price rise issue. And now they have even stopped saying we'll do it in 100 days. Their only tame reply always is, it is a world phenomena. And they keep on giving statistics after statistics. And we're confronting it. Therefore, it is all a result of gross mismanagement of food economy. Today is not the date we have debated ad nauseum with you or now on the channel in the past. But the larger issue is, Congress party has almost given up. And therefore, I come to you again. Why is it that Mr. Rahul Gandhi...
Given up? Given up for 2014?
No, given up
for 2014 or given up vis-a-vis price rise?
Given up vis-a-vis price rise. And let me tell you why Mr. Rahul Gandhi's rally was not a success. Why Congress leaders left Srimati Sheila Dikshit to fend for herself in the entire campaign? Because they knew this question is being asked of them. And or now let me charge. Sonia Gandhi or Rahul Gandhi or Manmohan Singh, did they ever speak one word on price rise in the entire campaign? Manmohan Singh spoke hardly twice, but Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi campaigned so extensively in all these states, they never spoke one word about price rise because they knew they have no answer to give.
Well, I think that's a fairly valid point. They kept talking about the food security bill. about every single other issue, but never once did the Congress party top leadership make price rise the central subject. You know, Jay.
One very important thing, as our democracy matures and more people get into the lower middle class and middle class strata, the government needs to realize that a stagflating economy where there is stagnation combined with inflation hurts the voters, and they really come.
I have one political question. Has the Congress party overplayed the communalism card? Watch. I need to have an answer to this question from this side of the panel. Derek O'Brien? Secular alternative and all that.
Eventually, God knows what card is played, not played.
So has the Congress party overplayed the communalism?
I am not commenting Congress, BJP, but I can just tell you one thing. It's eventually the people will respond to the various stimulus which you're offering them. So on that they voted today, or they voted a week ago.
You're keeping your options. Has the Congress party overplayed the communalism card? Ajay Bose.
Its attempts to cast Modi as the communal demon
is not working.
Is not working because it does not require Modi to defeat the Congress. The Congress is defeating itself.
No. We know that Hartosh is one of the strongest critics of Modi on the Gujarat riots issue. But do you feel this is not going to work politically for the Congress party anymore, Hartosh?
Well, again, it's a question of where the message is coming from. The problems are with the Congress. People are angry with the Congress. They feel it's a way of deflecting attention from them. The charges may be right, but it doesn't matter. That's the problem.
Yeah, so the electoral impact of the BJP's communalism issue was virtually non-existent in any of these states.
No, absolutely, because I think people have moved beyond this, Arnab.
You think they have?
I think people today are looking at governance, and in all 4 states, and particularly Delhi, I think that was really a key issue. So and somehow the Congress seems to have, failed to understand this.
Well,
they think
the key issue is really jobs. It's education, and at what price education is available, and prices. These are the 3 things, and on all these 3 things, because of the economic slowdown,
the question here is, and I go to Ashok, Mr. Surjewala, I appreciate this. The whole game is changing right now. Traditional politics, which Rahul Gandhi is now strongly being critical himself against. That traditional politics say put the BJP and put Narendra Modi in the dock on the issue of communalism. Now, Sankarshan, I know you disagree. Let's take the other side. I'm saying that the strategy of putting the BJP in the dock over communalism has failed at the hustings. And it's time, isn't it, Ashok Malik, that the Congress party takes a lesson and changes its game plan?
After December 2012, when the BJP won in Gujarat, it became fairly clear Modi would come to the centre. The Congress's one single-pronged agenda and single-pronged answer to Modi is let a natural coalition of people who are opposed to Modi on the communal front
emerge. Worked 10 years back. Will it work now?
I'm talking about 2012, last year.
Yeah.
They have no other plan apart from this miraculous coalition emerging. Second, they've been ruling for 10 years. After 10 years, they don't say vote for us because of what we've done. They say vote for us to keep Modi out.
It's obviously,
people see through this.
It's not going to work. Manisha, is it going to work?
You had these spectrum bands that came up, and each one of them were turning saffron. And they were turning saffron without any of the old Hindutva type of agendas. So why were they turning saffron? And why was the AAP party taking over the gut of all this, which is Central Delhi, Heartland Delhi, History Delhi, which has typically been divided into communities and has been seen as nothing else but a bundle of communities. So here was a voting on issues on a Delhi which was fired the 1857 salvo. So it's history just shifting, tectonic shift beneath the ground.
In fact,
please feel the pulse.
Absolutely. Now, a couple of minutes into the debate, one point has to be made here, and I want a clear answer from Mr. Surjewala and Ravi Shankar Prasad on this. That you were talking about the spectrum. You pull out any spectrum of any election here today, of all the 4 states, the one thing you realize is the traditional discussion around caste, community, and religion has flopped.
Flopped completely.
Mr. Surjewala, it's flopped
completely.
In fact,
populism has flopped. SOPs have flopped. Communalism has flopped. Do you have a plan B? Do you have a plan B which you will execute in 4 months, Mr. Surjewala? What's your plan B?
Shall I answer now?
Yep.
Communalism is not a poll plank for the Indian National Congress. It's an article of faith. Secularism has been, contrary to the cynics and what you may like to believe, secularism runs as part of the ethos of this country, and I know you will find it hard to believe today when Congress is not winning in many states. But communalism...
I am not talking about whether secularism is at your ethos. I am asking you whether...
Communalism is not a political agenda, Arnav. I am very specifically pointing out for the Congress it's a matter of belief.
I know your answer to that. Mr. Surjewala, yes, it's a matter of belief, but I want to get Ravi Shankar Prasad in on that. You have not been able to yield any electoral result out of drubbing Mr. Modi as a fear factor that the entry of Mr. Modi will change the communal secular fabric of this country.
But the truth will always remain that Mr. Modi is a divisive figure, polarizing figure in this country. But it may not reflect in the current elections, but you can't wean that away from the truth.
Now, please keep quiet, let me speak. The problem of Congress party is a dogged refusal to understand and introspect as to how India is changing. They are asking questions on issue of governance, on price rise, on corruption, on lack of growth, and they are trying to deflect that debate by raising this issue of Mr. Modi being a divisive figure or raising the issue of communal secular divide. Now, Arnav, kindly see, in the neighborhood of Muzaffarnagar, in camps after camps, children are dying from minority community. They are not being given any proper relief and rehabilitation. But this is not an issue for Congress party because Samajwadi party is aligned with them. Whenever they are confronted with the issue of governance, they try to raise a bogey of 10 years old. The people are seeing through the game, and what they are saying, we are bringing the communal violence prevention bill in a hurry. The people have travelled much beyond, and the kind of victory BJP has registered in all these big states, third time in a row, where substantial Muslim presence also is there, is Muslim community also wants jobs, educational development, growth.
I leave that as an open question before I head to the 10 p.m. last debate. Corruption, price rise and communalism. On all three issues of hits, issues and misses, the Congress party on the back foot doesn't have a plan B. Thank you, Mr. Surjewala. Thank you, Derek O'Brien. And thank you, Ravi Shankar Prasad. Communalism is still an issue, says Vinod Mehta. I'm back on the other side in a few minutes. This is the mandate debate on Super Prime Time.